Hi, I'm Mark McPherson, and this video is all about how to apply my list of strategies for dealing with poor behaviour, bad behaviour, and with difficult people to a specific situation. So let's get into it. This situation is all about a young woman I met recently who's in a position of authority, a management type position in an organisation, and it's dominated by males. Now, two things for her. The first one is people, when they meet her, are often surprised and they say, "Oh, I didn't expect to see a woman in this job," or "Oh, you're a lot younger than I expected or thought you'd be." But the second thing is a lot more derogatory. It's a put down, it's a criticism, it's questioning of her abilities and competency. So it's more along the lines of, "Oh, look, I've been in this job for 25 years. I don't think you at your age would know how to do stuff." This is, as a woman, you wouldn't understand the sort of things us blokes have to deal with here. You're too young to really understand the complexities of this job, or whatever it happens to be. So remember, they've got two things: surprise, and the second thing is, "Oh, hang on, it's a bit of a put down and having a go at me." So how do you deal with them? I have a list of strategies for dealing with poor behaviour and difficult people, and I'll just run through some of them that I think that apply here. The first one is just leave them to it. You do not have to respond to every bit of bad behaviour and every comment that you don't like. So you can simply just ignore it. You don't have to respond. In fact, there's a danger sometimes of responding things. "Oh, what's wrong with being a woman?" It might be something you want to say, but look, just be warned that that sort of thing ends up getting in a bit of a conversation that you may not want to really be in because you've got work to do. Sometimes you can just, if you've got something to tell them, a question to ask them, you can simply just forge ahead, tell them what you have to tell them, ask them what you have to ask them, and move on. Now I have a number of techniques of scripts in there and formulas, but let's just break one of them up into this. Say hello and acknowledge them and their feelings and whatever it is. Tell them what you've got to tell them and then leave. The longest script of that is what I call the anatomical script, which is an acronym, but let's just leave it at hello, acknowledge, tell them what you've got to tell them, and leave. So you can actually say, "Yes, I am pretty young, but let's get on with the job today. We've got a lot of things on the agenda." So you can say hello, you can acknowledge the fact that they've said you're young, fine. But don't go down this track. "Hi, I am young, but what's wrong with that?" You're starting a debate that you really don't want to get into. So just take control. "Hi John, yes, I am a woman, but look, we've got lots of things to do today, so let's just get cracking and get on with it." Or, "Yes, I am young, but look, what I can do for you today though is we can go through the processes that you need to do. We can knock over that report, and then I think we can probably be out of here by 10. So you can just take control and move on. So you have responded to the issue of you being young, but you're not getting involved in a discussion about it. Now, let's take this other case though over here where people are being rude to you. Now, one of the things you can do is what I call the FEA script. You state the facts, explain what the problem is or tell what the problem is, and simply ask a question. Now, you want to be careful about asking a question. You do not want a long discussion here. So I would just say something simple as, "John, that's the third time you've mentioned in this staff meeting that I'm a woman, and at the same time you sort of rolled your eyes. That's a problem for me because I feel as though you're having a bit of a go at me." Now the ask is a rhetorical one in this case. You do not want a discussion. Just ask a rhetorical question. "Can we just move on, please, because we've got lots of work to do today?" Now I think that lays it on the line. I think other people in the room go, "Oh, okay, she's onto it." But you're not involving yourself in a discussion like, "And what's wrong with being a woman?" or "What's wrong with being young?" or trying to defend yourself. "I am young, but I'm really good at my job, Might be true, but just be careful about going down that track. Now, if that doesn't work, you need to go what I call down the FEWER script, the fewer script. You just need to up the ante a bit. "John, that's the third time in this conversation you've mentioned I'm a woman and scoffed," gone sort of like, "Women." That's unacceptable behaviour to me, and I think the organisation as a whole. What I want you to do is just refrain from those comments, because that'll make sure we can get through this agenda really quickly and be out by 10. Now that's what I've done, is the facts, explain why it's a problem, tell them what you want, and tell them why it's a good thing. Now the rewards and punishment at the end of that, be careful about. But if you can do that, that'd be great. That's the reward. There's no lollies here. That'd be great. But there is a potential punishment you might have to deliver sometimes. John, that's the third time or the fourth time now that you've rolled your eyes, scoffed that I'm a woman, told me I'm too young. I think this conversation needs to end. So there's an example of how you can apply my list of strategies to a particular situation. You don't have to worry about whether the person's a criticiser, negative, an abuser, a put-down merchant, or whatever it happens to be. You've got a list of strategies and you pick and choose those to fit the particular situation and your way of doing things. As I always say, there's 3 steps to dealing with poor behaviour and difficult people. Number 1, nail the violation. What's the problem? Is it just surprise, or are they actually being rude to you? Number 2, tailor the strategies. There's lots of strategies I have, and you can have a list of them if you like, and you tailor those to fit the particular situations. And the third thing is you need to personalise them, because everyone has their own way of doing things. Male, female, young, old, different cultures, different, when you were born, baby boomers do things to whatever. So you need to personalise them. Look, I hope that's cleared up a few issues. One is how you can apply different strategies to a particular situations, and giving you a bit of an overview of those 3 steps. Nail a violation, tailor the strategies, and personalise your approach. All the very best. Look after yourselves. If you'd like to speak to me, please just go to the contact page of my website. It's easy to get in contact with me. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, look after yourselves, look after your friends and family, and I hope to chat to you soon. See you later.